Wow. Dr. Deborah Roberts. I like the sound of that. Thank you so very much, President Stevens, trustees, distinguished faculty, and most important, class of 2024. Bonjour. Welcome to the rest of your lives. And what a glorious day this is. It's been 7 years since my connection began here with the American University of Paris. My daughter, Leela, who I thought was destined for an American university on the West Coast, came here, set foot on the campus, had a glass of wine on the tour, and never looked back. My husband said he wasn't surprised. He wanted to sign on for AUP. And that began our love affair with this fabulous university. I am deeply, deeply honored and proud to be here with you today to share this special moment, a joyous moment, which, let's be honest, some of you probably worried might not come. In fact, your parents may have worried even more that it might not happen. I remember those last few weeks of the last semester of school, freaking out and worrying. Did you get everything done? Did you have the right major? Just trying to get across the finish line. But here you are, graduates. Wow, you made it. You're here because somebody worked, believed, dreamed, pulled all-nighters, maybe some of you, consumed some Red Bull or maybe some espresso martinis. And for some of you, maybe you overcame some really difficult odds. You got up even after you stumbled, and most importantly, you had somebody there to catch you, somebody who believed in you. And never forget that. This moment doesn't just belong to you, it also belongs to those who were there in your corner, whether it was family, whether it's faculty, whether it was friends, or all of the above. Somebody was on this journey with you. So, I know you've been asked to do this already, but let's do this again. I'd love for you to take a moment, find somebody in this crowd who was there for you, stand up and thank them once again for getting you here. A lot of enthusiasm. Yes, I see you up there too. You are all global citizens. You are here because you have a broader view of life. My daughter Leela, as you heard, was in your shoes just a few years ago, a proud AUP graduate, but she had a remote graduation, so I know she is up there soaking in this moment along with you. Congratulations to you, Leela. Like you, she had a unique opportunity to meet and bond with young people who came from all over the world, other countries, other cultures, and other points of view. Something that will serve you well because you are about to step out into a very difficult, some might call it a topsy-turvy world. A world which desperately needs your energy, your positivity, your patience, your kindness, oh yes, your kindness, your empathy, your involvement. We are fractured, we are polarized, we're also loving, we're anxious, we're hopeful, and we are desperately in need of new approaches to peace and stability. And we all know, all of us up here on this stage, we know that you are more than capable of bringing some of that. Today is all about joie de vivre. We know that you're focused on celebrating, and you should. You've worked really hard. Most of you are very far from home. Your graduation is vastly different from that of your friends. And to that, we say, très bien, well done. Bring on the champagne a little later this afternoon. Some of you may have already had some champagne this morning. You're graduating with honors. Some of you are going off to grad school or law school or medical school, and some of you have already lined up new jobs. You're blazing new trails, encouraging new possibilities for those in your lives. But know that your journey here is not ending, it's really just beginning. The real adventure is about to unfold as you make your way into #adulting. And while it is an exciting time, it's also one of the most challenging times in our nation, in our world's history. Politically, culturally, geographically, these are some tough days, as I said. You only need to watch a few minutes of the national or international news to know that. Protests all over the world, some of them on college campuses, some of them violent. Turbulent weather, a daily occurrence. Homelessness, mental illness, and social isolation have left many of us, particularly many of your peers, feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. There's a lot to deal with. Graduates, we need you desperately now to dig a little deeper and to look at problems with a little more nuance. When our kids were younger, we really enjoyed this Dr. Seuss, a little-known Dr. Seuss book called Hooray for Diffin' Day. And it sort of chronicled two different schools. One of them was gray and dull, and the kids were all in one line, and they all sort of learned very rote in the same way. The other school was colorful and wacky, and the teachers did backflips and rode unicycles, and the kids colored outside the lines. Then there came time for a standardized test, and they were all really freaking out. The principal was morose and worried. Oh no, if we don't do well on this test, they're gonna close our school. Everybody was very worried until one of the wackiest teachers spoke up and said, wait a second, we don't need to worry about that standardized test. We haven't taught you what to think, we have taught you how to think. And of course, the school went on to win like 1,000 points on the test, and they did beautifully. I use that childhood example to talk about you here at AUP. You have not been taught what to think, you have been taught how to think. And you will do it very well. We need your intelligence. We need your generosity, your spirit, and most important, we need your heart. I ask you today to bring your heart to whatever endeavor you choose to pursue. We need you to give lots of thought to this big ailing world of ours and to decide that you want to make a difference in ways big and small. And that won't happen unless you're willing to step outside yourselves. So I am here today challenging you to step outside your comfort zone if you're going to make a lasting and positive impact on this world. So start with a few little tidbits. Put down your phones. Stop scrolling for a meaningful amount of time every day. Take a look at the world around you. There's a lot of beauty out there if you just decide to look up. Visit a place that you've never been to. Talk to somebody who is the opposite of you, and I mean really talk to them. Go grocery shopping into a grocery store. Not on Instacart, okay? Go inside a grocery store. You never know who you might meet. Compliment somebody, maybe on their shoes. I hear there's a very fierce shoe game going on here, so I came prepared. Strike up a conversation with a stranger on a plane. The head of a leading medical institution in the US began chatting with an elderly woman on his flight once. Their conversation led to a friendship, which led to more conversations, which led to a $1 billion donation to his medical school. You never know who you're sitting next to on a plane. Most of all, get involved in your world. It is up to you to help us set the right course. And we all know that that is your legacy at AUP, getting involved. I wish all of you joy, I wish all of you happiness, and I also wish you a little bit of failure. Yes, success is the big thing, the big goal that we all aim for. It's a beautiful thing, but nothing teaches you to fight for what you really want like failure. When I started in the television, it's true. When I started in the television business, I had some big flops on air in local news, really big ones. We don't need to go into it here, but they were pretty bad. And there were times when I sat licking my wounds thinking, you know, this probably just isn't gonna work out. This career is not for me. And I eventually pulled myself together and thought, wait a second. if you really want this career, you have got to fight for it. You've got to pick yourself up and you've got to go back in every time you make a mistake. And I stand here before you today as a network news anchor, not in spite of my failures, but because of them. Nothing will teach you lessons like failure. As you step into the real world, I urge you to cherish every part of your lives, the good and the bad, and to take a little time, slow down, take care of yourselves, take care of your mental health. Always carry some money in your wallet, some real money. Okay, Apple Pay is not going to help if you get your car broken down or something like that. So just make sure you always have a little cash on hand. Don't believe everything you see on social media. It may look like everybody has it figured out but you. Trust me, they don't. They're just as insecure as you are. Heck, I'm just as insecure as you are. Don't believe everything you see online. Use your phone's keypad. Talk to somebody on the phone now and again, in real words, not in emojis. Tip people more than they expect. Say thank you when somebody opens the door for you. And while you're at it, when you walk through a door, whether it's a grocery store or a corporate door, hold the door for somebody else. There is nothing better in life than making space for somebody else to come behind you. Drop a handwritten note to somebody every now and again that you haven't talked to in a while. And if you're fortunate enough to still have your parents in your world, give them a call occasionally and say, I love you. Let them know how you feel. It feels like you've got a lot of time ahead of you, and you do, but it goes so much faster than you think. So seize this day as much as you can. This is your moment, a moment to decide what you stand for and who you will be, not in your business, not in your career, but as a caring, trustworthy human being. What you carry in here will be just as important as what you carry in here. I urge you to hold fast to those ideas. I am so very proud of all of you and all that you've worked to accomplish. Felicitations, class of 2024. Congratulations.